Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody today? It is Hot Take Tuna Tuesday. Finally on a Tuesday after, the holiday break. Got a few videos to react to today, but first I wanted to ask you guys, how are you all doing today? Did a little live stream last night for pirating. Turned out to be a really slow night. A really slow night. And that's okay. That's pirating isn't always 100% exciting all the time. There's a lot of waiting, watching, playing box jockeys, and the exciting stuff is only like, a couple of minutes long most of the time. But last night was a really dead night. I'm not sure where everybody was. A lot of the servers we went to were like 50, 60, 70 people. So I don't know where everybody was. Maybe it was because it was a Monday night. I don't know. I don't know. So upcoming things. I'm gonna post it in the community section today, but Saturday at 4 p.m. Dodgebox. Haven't figured out where I'm gonna set it up. Some people have told me that 1 and 2 SCU boxes tend to disappear. I'm gonna come with a full reclaimer, both with tons of boxes already laying on the grid, and a full buffer. And it sounds like Jim or some other people are going to be bringing an 890 or a Carrick for medbed, and we'll have all the supplies there: extra suits, helmets, multi-tools, tractor beam attachments, the big tractor beams, all of that stuff, drinks, all of it. We'll bring it all there, and we'll keep it going as long as we can. Killing each other with boxes. We'll see how that goes. If it turns out anything like, wow, my green screen, I gotta adjust that again. It's probably because it's the morning time, but and there's some light. I got the curtains opened a little bit to let a little light in. I don't want to live in a cave. Oh, those damn cleaning people! You need to fire them all, Jim. Fire them all. Fire them all. Oh, nice racing. Oh, what else is going on? We're pushing to 1,000 subs on YouTube and 100 on Twitch. We're 3 or 4 away from the big 50 on Twitch. So if you guys like watching on Twitch, you can watch me there. If you don't, you can just stay on YouTube. Doesn't matter to me. Either way, I enjoy hanging out with you guys, no matter what the platform is. What else do we got going on? I think that's really about it. Oh, I mean, if you guys are interested, there's merch in the merch store. You can see there's some merch in the merch store if you're interested. If you're not, once again, no skin off my back. And yeah, I hate hawking the stuff, but I made it. It's there for you guys if you want to use it. If not, like I said, I'm not going to go cry in my tear-soaked diary about it. Oh, and also, make sure you go visit this guy. This is Pagan Linux Geek. He's a big part of this channel as far as, helping me out. And, well, he can help you guys out too. He's really big into IT stuff, hardware stuff, sound and video. He kind of does all of it. Really good at it. Yeah, go check out his channel. It's on Twitch and on YouTube. Pagan Linux Geek. Go check him out. Yeah, he does. He's a good guy. I love Pagan. He's a big reason of, I say this about a lot of channels, and I don't want to sound cliche, but it's going to come out sounding cliche. Guys like Canop __ at Twitch, Marcus Wynn, Dr. Bailey, Pagan, Starstreams, Grumpy. Without a lot of those guys and a lot of their input, this channel wouldn't exist as it exists today. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. Like these are good guys. They've helped me out a lot, and it sounds like they help out a lot of other people as well. So yeah, with that, let's get into some reacts. Let's make sure. Yep, it's up. It's up. Alrighty. I'm gonna do a older video for a second just to double check sound. All right, sound is good. We watched that one like months ago, and I just haven't taken it off of the react. Yeah, you can also do this too. And it'll display it as well.
God bless those pagans.
Deleted by Scarred Citizen. I didn't delete nothing. I didn't delete anything. Why won't it show it? Huh. I didn't delete this. Hey Jim, can you type something else in chat real quick? It's timing out all your messages. Put user in timeout, hide from this channel, remove, pin message, report. There, we'll make you save. Hold on a second, guys. YouTube's freaking out for some reason. I don't know why.
Fresh meat.
There we go. All right, well, that one went through. I need the nerd sound. I need a nerd sound. I don't have that one yet. I like this one, though. What is going on here? See if it plays it.
Stop being such a pussy.
There you go. Thank you, Stream Elements. Alrighty, let's get into some good stuff. I know Ghost has asked for this a few times, and a few other people have. So I went through and I made sure I added some this time. This is a Star Citizen weekend review by Salty Mike. Love him, hate him, doesn't matter. He's got a lot of good information. You know, I need one of them too, JT. I need one of those too. Love him, hate him. He's got a lot of good information. You know, he kind of rubs elbows with a lot of devs. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's get to Salty Mike and see what he's got to say about this week in Star Citizen.
What's up, guys? I'm Salty Mike, and this is your Star Citizen Weekend Review for January 15th, 2024. We had a few patches this week with changes that could eventually have really huge impacts one day.
I hope so.
Some of the reports came out, and they had some really interesting things to highlight as well, and the final cargo nerf has come. All that and more on today's Week in Review.
Sorry, playing with the sound here, making sure it's good for you guys.
And
not
as
blowing out
always,
your ear
if this is your
holes.
first week in review, this is where I take all of the official Star Citizen news each week and put it into one video. I might share some of my...
You know, I wonder... Oh, that was a bad pause. Sorry, Mike. You know, I wonder how old Mike is, because he's showing a lot of gray in his beard. I'm not poking fun at him because... And you're not going to see it on camera, but I'm getting big-time streaks of silver, like right in here, and then in my beard... Yeah, because I can't really grow a beard. I'm getting a lot of silver in the beard. So I wonder how old he is. I don't think he's even in his 40s yet. Like I said, I'm not poking fun. I'm just saying he's got a lot of gray showing.
Opinions about it as well. I also live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/saltymike every day but Monday, so I can get this video out to you guys.
His chat is wild. His chat is absolutely
Eastern
wild.
Time. Also, thank you for stopping by over from the...
Okay, I'm just going to let you guys in on a secret. If you go to watch Salty Mike, and if you tune in at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, he hits the go button at 6:30. That doesn't mean he's actually streaming at 6:30. He usually hits the go button and then takes a shower and makes a cup of tea. So, Hey, it's Chaos Squad. What's up, man? Go visit Captain Dirty and the Chaos Pirate crew over at YouTube. There's his link right there. Go give him a follow. But he'll hit the go button at 6:30, but he doesn't start streaming at 6:30. It's more like 6:45, 6:50, just so you guys know. But his chat is wild. Absolutely wild.
YouTube channels, and I really appreciate it. Every day, more and more of you guys are coming, and it just warms my heart. So thank you so much for that. Also, don't forget to check out the Answer the Call channel. We did our first podcast over there this week, and it's doing really well. So thank you so much for the support there. But without further ado, let's jump into those patch notes and hear some of the good
Let's.
and some of the bad.
Oh, JT. I'm not quite like that. I don't make you guys wait 15 minutes,
Now, we
20
had two
minutes.
patches this week, both on the PTU. The first one was on Wednesday, and the big thing there is that they updated the damage output, fire rates, range, and greatly increased the health of defense turrets around the persistent universe. This is interesting. Not sure why this would get prioritized.
Okay, so just real quick, I watched somebody do this in the EPTU the other day. The turrets are supposed to have like a 7-kilometer lock on, and they're supposed to be shooting at like 2,000 meters or something like that. There's a couple of issues with that. It's obviously server related, and then obviously ping related to the client, well, to the PC using the client. So he did the test 5 times. He did the test 5 times in 5 different ships. None of them stealth or anything like that. What's up, Squirrel?
He knows he's not allowed to come on my deal.
Check out Squirrel as well, guys. So they did increase the range. They did. All right, let me back up. It's very server dependent and it's very ping dependent. So he was able to fly right above the bunkers, and they would lock onto him, but they wouldn't start firing immediately. And then the other thing that I was noticing is that whatever the render distance is set at also has play in that as well. So he would come up, they would lock, but they wouldn't start shooting until he was like 1,500 to 1,000 meters out because they weren't rendering in quickly enough. So it might be a good thing that they did these updates to these turrets, but you know, it's still beholden to the servers and the ping. So just be aware of that. Also, you know, if you're like me, a good A2 bomb does the trick every time. So, you know, it's really not that much to worry about, especially if you're bringing in land vehicles and things like that, or you just bomb it and then go in. It's really not that big of a deal. So, yeah, don't worry about it. It's not like major game change.
Other than them really trying to fix Siege of Orison and stop people from rushing ahead. They really want to make the turrets kind of painful there. Also, this could be a thing to try to make ground vehicles a thing at the underground bunkers, but this fix won't mean anything until the server can actually track players while they're moving properly, right? For bug fixes, there is a big one here. If you used a tractor beam on the same box as another person, it would get permanently desync.
Yes.
This should resolve that. Let me know if you guys are still having issues with this in the comments, as it is something that really needs.
You know, I haven't been in the EPTU to test it, but as far as the PTU is concerned, yes, it is still an issue. It is still a big time issue. Last night I was having, so a couple of times last night, Grumpy was tossing me boxes to my M2, and it would get caught up on that front turret right by the door. And I didn't notice that he hadn't let go of his tractor beam, and I tractor beamed it, and then I would put it on the grid or be trying to move it, and it would just zoop, you know, like right out of the side of the ship, right through the bottom of the ship, or it just wouldn't let me grab it. So it's still an issue. I don't know if it's been fixed in the EPTU or if it's fixed in live, but as far as the live build is concerned, as of last night, it was still an issue.
Needs to get fixed. For the Friday PTU patch, the testing focus was, surprise, surprise, Siege of Orison again. But it doesn't even work. It has major blockers, so the test on Sunday will only happen once per server, because after the first time, it doesn't reload again and it breaks. And also, we knew this was going to come. The final missions that had insanely valuable cargo in them have been nerfed. It had to happen.
This is sad. this is sad, but also a good thing. So we can't have players running around making billions of dollars in the PU. We can't have it. It's too much. It's been going on for too long. And then if you're like me, if you're like Chaos Squad, if you're like, I don't even know if Mongrel Squad's still around, but all the pirate crews right now, they're having such a hard time finding targets outside of the salvage yards because this is why. You hit a good ERT, you're making 4 to 10 million right off rip. 4 to 10 million right off rip. And it does not, and even if you're a semi okay pilot, it doesn't take much if you have the right ship with the right loadout and you're even semi okay at flying, you can run right through to ERTs and start making millions upon millions upon millions. And like I said, it makes pirate gameplay boring because all you're doing is you're going to the same 4 spots day after day after day, just waiting. You're going to Brios on Daymar. You're going to Ornth on Hurston. What is it? Samson's on Walla and Devlin on Uterp. So, it kind of, like I said, it sucks. It sucks both ways because you can't have players making billions of credits, and it's also nice to make billions of credits. So it's a double-edged sword. It really is, or even a quadruple-edged sword because of how many problems it causes. Now, I don't know if he's going to get into it, but salvage also needs to be addressed as well. Now, granted, I know why they do this. It's no secret. They come out with a new thing. They have the credits all the way to the max. And then once it forces people, it doesn't force them, but it makes people want to go do those game loops. They get their data that they need, and then they adjust the money accordingly. But yeah, one little other thing that I want to tell you guys, just from some people that I talked to that do have a couple of ins at CIG, take this with a grain of salt. Take it as rumor. Take it as however you want to take it. But the plans that I'm hearing for this summer is that payouts are going to continually decrease and the ship prices are going to go way up. So I want you to be prepared for that. Payouts are going to decrease. Ship prices are going to increase. It's going to be a lot more difficult to just run out, make $1 billion, and then buy all the ships in the game. It's going to be a lot more difficult to do that. So I just want to let you guys know that. Be prepared for that. They're saying this summer, with all things CIG and what the information I've got, take that how you want. Don't get yourself in a ball of emotions because it could happen. It may not happen. Who knows? It could change tomorrow. Who knows? But I'll keep you guys informed as I hear it coming down the pipeline.
But the first time you made like 10 plus million, that felt pretty cool. But after that, not.
They more than likely. It depends on what major, Jim. It depends on what major patch comes out during the summer. If we get 4.0 with pyro and server meshing and everything else, then yes, there will be a wipe, and that's when they're going to make it more difficult. They have to, because of the way. Look, I don't take everything written down by CIG and Christ Roberts as, written in stone or biblical prophecy or anything like that. Yeah, JT, yeah, pretty much. I don't take that stuff as like that, like it's permanent. Everything can be changed, everything can be adjusted, but the guys at CIG, especially Christ Roberts, has said multiple times that they want it to be difficult for you to earn ships, so that way you're pretty much earning a ship and living in that ship for as long as possible before you upgrade to the next ship. And that also goes with people that have these massive fleets already that they've bought using pledge money. that all's gonna eventually, and they've also talked about this recently with, you know, persistent hangers or personal hangers, whatever you want to call it. They've also said that you're gonna have to pay hanger fees. So if you are one of those guys that has maxed out your hanger for, you know, using the pledge store, or you're one of those guys that runs out and buys an absolute tons of ships within game, you're gonna have to pay for hanger fees. It's coming. They've said it's coming. It's more than likely going to be very near to when the personalized hangers come out. So when those come out, you're going to start paying for hanger fees for all your ships. So once again, I just want you guys to be aware of that. I'm not trying to be a negative person or be like, haha, all you guys that have spent tons of money in the game, you're going to have to pay tons more money within the game to keep your fleets running. It's coming. They've said it. It's definitely coming.
Not so much, right? And that'll really do it for this week. We did not get a live patch. It doesn't look like any of these patches really feel like a good 3.22 live patch, so not really sure what the plan is for these PTUs necessarily to end up on the live servers, but hopefully something soon. With that, let's jump into the meat of this week's video, the monthly report.
Woo! Monthly report. Yeah, only players
always,
will fly.
Start out with AI. Where
you'll be able to have AI, like turret gunners and things like that, but you're not going to have AI flying one of your ships. That's for sure. It's going to be you and you alone, or somebody that you allow to fly your ship.
They are focused on social AI instead of combat AI, where the focus was most of last year.
Social AI.
They're working on fixing basic AI usables like chairs, seats, and rails, which is actually really a meme at this point. And they're also focused on proper voice packs.
Yeah, let's see if they'll actually, you know,
type AI
do what they're supposed to do.
The mention of lines triggering correctly.
Yeah, okay.
Right here.
I don't want any more noodles for as long as I live. Thank you. It's very kind of you to ask. Again and again.
Noodles.
And again.
Who wants noodles?
And again.
In the next section, they also mentioned all their fixes for slow AI, but in the end, the AI experience still isn't up to par in the game right now. They're also addressing issues with AI and replication layer coming up when that enters the game. For animation, this one's kind of a big deal. They wanted to bring in
That's awesome, Squirrel. Yeah. Continue working on that stuff. The one other thing I'll say is you really gotta do something about your thumbnails. They are look, I'm not making fun. I'm just saying I can go to your channel and I know it's going to be one of two different thumbnails. You got to get variety and add text to them. It'll bring in a lot of people. Hey, Fox Creative. Thanks for joining. What do I like doing in Star Citizen? I like my favorite things to do. I love bunker running. I love rock mining. I haven't done a lot of it recently. Let's see, what else do I really like doing? Pirating. I really enjoy pirating a lot. Especially when they fight back, because oh my god, so many things can go sideways real quick. If you're not on your toes, you'll get got really fast, like really fast. If the cargo hauler wants to fight back and is also thinking, it's an amazing gameplay. All right, Squirrel, you have a good one, man. You have a good one.
3 different creatures to the game of all different types.
Bring
none of
creatures.
Which I think we saw at CitizenCon, from what I can tell, a 4-legged predator, a bird, and a fish. Not sure how these interactions kind of with us and them will be a thing. They probably won't have much interaction with us initially, but it's hard not to be somewhat excited for these, right? Character art. Here's a big one from CitizenCon. They're working on actual tiers of the Duster armor, it feels like now, but also the racing helmet and flight suit.
I hope there's looting progression. If you see these right here, you know, you got your common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary. I hope loot in general becomes like this, where you have your common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary stuff, similar to a lot of the MMORPGs or action RPGs, where there's different tiers of items. I hope that does become a thing in this game. Hopefully. I hope.
As well. And what I'm more curious about is there any gameplay implications for this armor, since the first batch didn't really do much? And then ship art. The RSI Polaris is out of white box and into gray box. Not sure when it started production, honestly, with this one, but it felt like it kind of went fast. And last week's Zeus sneak peek is now feeling a little bit more interesting, isn't it? They are doing a gold standard pass on the Saber Raven. Okay, the only reason I think this could be a thing is because they already did the gold pass on
the Saber Raven. Is the Sabers in general. I really love the look of the Sabers. The Raven, if I'm not mistaken, is the thing that you had to buy, is the ship that you got when you bought an Intel thing. I can't remember what it was, but some sort of Intel thing. You got a code for it, and then you get to have the ship. And I really enjoy that. I enjoy the Saber, I should say, the regular Saber. I really enjoy it, but this one's got the EMP and stuff on it. It's pretty cool. The Sabers, in my opinion, they're paper thin when it comes to taking hits. Something needs to be done about that. I'm not asking for it to be overpowered, but it needs to handle a handful of shots and not just, 3, get through the shields, and then another 2 shots, and you're red hulled everywhere.
The regular Saber, so maybe it'll be a bit easier. And then 3 more variants are also in production. And
3 more variants.
Leave those down in the comments. For the economy, let me tell you, I'm happy to see the economy section get longer and longer each month. And this one is telling us about the previous update to the in-game armor prices, but they are now focused on weapon prices.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, guys, and he's bringing it up right here. Remember how I said your payouts are going to be lowered, ship costs are going up? Well, all the guns are going up, all the ammo's going up, all the armor's going up. So it's going to make it very interesting to see what's going to be coming down the pipeline later. I'm wondering if the economy is going to actually make it in. I mean, there's a lot of big ifs here. If server meshing makes it, if pyro makes it, in the time that they're talking about it making it, the economy can't be too far behind, like an actual in-game economy, a dynamic economy like they talked about. It just sucks because I really thought that players were going to be able to impact the economy more than they're allowing us. It's going to be a 10-to-1 ratio, so 10-to-1. I would assume so, Jim, but I don't know if it's going to actually do that. What was I saying? It's going to be very interesting if the economy makes it in an actual dynamic economy, and I was hoping that we would have more impact on it, but CIG has stated multiple times that it's going to be a 10-to-1 ratio, meaning 10 AI to 1 person being, or 1 player being able to affect the economy. So we're not going to, I was really hoping we could do stuff like sabotage an economy in one system and then have people come in that we know and sell resources at higher prices because the demand is high but the supply is low. So, we'll see. Maybe it changes, maybe it won't, who knows. But like I said, just be aware, payouts coming down, ship prices going up, armor going up, ammo going up, weapons going up. I'm sure the med pens and the med guns will all go up in price as well. So, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to make it very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Prices. Now, this one's going to be big since weapons are the only items in the game that you can earn nearly exclusively by playing. Obviously, there's like sub-items and stuff like that as well. They looked at freight elevators and the costs that they want to associate them with. And I think that this is kind of a big deal because this is sort of the final step of what freight elevators would be, I would guess. So you can't really guess the cost of freight elevators if you don't know how they work, right? So that's kind of a big deal. And then lastly, as we know, they nerfed the ERT bounties. And then for Arena Commander, this is the bombshell of this week. This team is moving permanently to the persistent universe. This is both an amazing thing because the work they were doing was pretty awesome, but also that work isn't done. They showed the potential of Arena Commander, but then they have not achieved it yet, right? It's not there yet. So I hope we will still get the I just hope we'll still get the love that they made Arena Commander deserve.
So here's the thing. I've been on record for saying this several times. CIG is going to allow us to pay NPCs to autoload our ship for us. Now, that aside, all right, they're going to put up a timer. So you can sit in, you know, whatever cafe sipping on your Cruise Lux and eating your veggie burrito or whichever one you prefer to buy. And it's going to take like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever, however big your ship is. Or you can go down to your freight elevator and personally load it yourself, which is fine because with 32, 24, and 16 SCU boxes, it really shouldn't take that long. But here's what I've been saying for a long time. You know, when I go out and pirate or I cover pirate stuff, what's up, Pagan? Everybody check out Pagan, as I said. Check him out. I've been saying this for a long time. People think that there's no risk with pirating. Well, if we hit your ship and it's soft death and we can't move it, you can come back and try to get it back while we're in the process of moving all your boxes. It is boring and tedious gameplay, and it sometimes takes a long time to load up all the boxes that you have. It really does. It sometimes takes a long time to load up all the boxes that you have. And I've been on record as saying this before. I know I just repeated myself, but cargo haulers are only going to do this a few times before they get bored of it and they don't want to do it anymore. And they're going to start paying NPCs to do it. And then they're going to start complaining, well, now I have to wait 15 minutes to get my C2 filled up or whatever it is. And the same thing goes with the Hull C. If that's going to slow down too, and you're going to be waiting for that as well. You know, that's what is it, 4,600 SCU that the thing can hold? You're going to be waiting a long time. People are going to get upset with that. And I've also been on record as saying this. They're going to make local inventory is going away. It's going away. You're not going to have a local inventory anymore. There's going to be no more local and global inventories. If you want to move something to somewhere, you have to call it from your freight elevator, put it in a box, move the box to your ship, and then unload it into your ship. That also means internal storage inside of ships is going to go away as well. So you're going to have to use the armor racks. You're going to have to use the gun racks. You're going to have to use whatever means you can in that ship to store your stuff. So that means it's going to be harder and harder and harder in a single seat fighter to do what it is that we do right now. So I just want to let you guys know the days of just being able to swap armor wherever you want, load up your ship with a ton of stuff and just leave, that's going away. You're going to have to use boxes. You're going to have to use freight elevators and move it around. And it's going to become more and more tedious. I'm just letting you guys know. Could all of this change? Could they make fixes? Can they do different things with it before it comes out or after it comes out? Of course, of course. But just keep that in mind when it first hits. It's probably going to be tedious as hell.
And this is also basically feeling like a rest in peace to theaters of war. It's got to be gone permanently.
Theaters
now,
of
right?
war is gone.
And they literally
It's
mentioned
never
it in the last
back.
monthly report. But more on their work. They worked on a kill collector mode, which you have to loot an item on a player to count as a kill, I think. And they're now able to add more locations from the PU to Arena Commander more easily. And they also have a number of racetracks in the works, including one shown at DreamHack Atlanta, which is a Gravlev exclusive track. It's hard to be excited about any of this stuff, knowing that it won't get the support once it's in the game, most likely, right?
Yeah.
Mission features. They really talked about the deadline system to ensure other players aren't blocking mission locations from players who are looking to be doing things. If you guys take a bunker and that bunker doesn't work and you don't abandon it, that bunker is inaccessible to everybody that's looking for a mission there until that 5+ hours are up that were mentioned there. They also debuted the new Jumptown locations, but their goal is to actually
racing.
make
Yeah,
each one feel more unique, which is kind of cool. They're prototyping a time trial foot race that utilizes ledge grabbing, which actually sounds cool. And finally, for the people watching this freaking out that they prioritize the foot race over cargo missions, they're converting missions to use the freight elevator. And missions like cargo, mining, salvage, all these are going to need freight elevators to work and to live. And this is probably why none of those things were prioritized and a foot race was, right? So hearing that about the freight elevators is actually a huge positive after kind of thinking that foot races are weird, although I'm sure that's going to be super fun. And then narrative, the last highlighted update is for today. And again, this is always a reminder to check out the entire report that will be linked in the description as I kind of skip some over some things
Read it
I
all,
don't think are
or you're
really
not a Star
worth
Citizen
sharing
fan
for you guys. But you never know, so you might find some gems in there that I missed. But there isn't much here outside of the fact that the goal for this coming year is to deliver more narrative-based and reputation-based content with a caveat. It has to be manageable within the scope of Star Citizen. So this won't be some massive Squadron 42 arc, but something small, but world-building. And I think that that's really what the game needs right now. And as a reminder, we'll touch on the Squadron 42 monthly report next week when they post it on the website. So let's move on.
That'll be interesting.
To other updates.
That'll be interesting. We need, like, the last week I talked about lore and how it doesn't affect me in this game, because you can't interact with it. I mean, other lore that I'm into, like, let's talk about BattleTech, for example. BattleTech, I can interact with the lore on a variety of ways. I can play the video games, I can play the board game, and I can get books. They're physical, I can hold them, and there's artwork within them, and it's great. I can interact with that stuff. Star Wars, I got video games, I got movies, I got TV shows, I got books, I got all that stuff, and it's easy to interact with the lore. Whereas Star Citizen, how do you interact with the lore? You click on a video by Astropub or Space Tomato or another guy, and they read off the lore to you, and it's in my opinion, it sucks. I hate learning about Star Citizen lore that way, and I just don't do it. I'm not taking away from those guys saying that they suck at their job or anything like that. I'm just saying I don't like the way the lore is delivered right now. There's no way to interact with it. I mean, you hear about the Vanduul all the time. Ooh, the Vanduul, the big, bad, and scary aliens, and they're awesome and terrifying. But where's the interaction? You get zero interaction. So, and I swear to God, if you guys say, but you get to fly the blade, I'm going to reach through the screen and strangle you. Damn. Hopium and oh, Mike's tone has really changed in sitcom. It has. He's really riding the high of sitcom.
All right, and as always, we start out with a sneak peek, and this looks like the Duster's style of armor, but their title is Don't Waste Your Breath. So there is some speculation on Reddit that this is underwater kind of oxygen masks, but I don't really buy this as well. Most of our spacesuits are pressurized and have oxygen, so they can kind of do the same thing that an underwater scuba diving thing would do, right? So I can't really pinpoint what type of suit this could be, but let me know down in the comments what you guys think, because it doesn't look like a flight suit. It doesn't look like a flight helmet. It doesn't look like a legendary thing that we're being hinted in the monthly report, so I really don't know. And then for subscriber flare, there's a really big change here where they used to have
that would be
even
really
more
cool,
of a split between the two tiers, $10 and $20. If you weren't aware, they are money grubbing even harder this year. The $10 sub gets one weapon skin, while the $20 sub gets that plus multiple matching vehicle skins, the whirlwind blue paints, and they're pretty cool. But then you find if you want to spend $16 more, you can get the black and yellow finishing set.
Oh, God.
I don't know what to say about this. And then a lore post, not much to go on here. It's an old article about a ship that not many people talk about anymore in the starter ship conversation, the Misk Reliant. And that'll do it for this week, guys.
All right, I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say this. The Misk Reliant Core is one of the best bunker running ships out there, okay? It's small, it's compact, it can land flat as a pancake. It's not overly fast, it's not overly, HP, like an HP juggernaut or anything like that. It gets you from point A to point B. People don't mess with you at all because they think you're poor as hell and they just let you be. And then on the flip side, if you decide to do like the illegal bunker missions or drug bunkers or anything where hostiles have control of the bunkers, this thing is great. You can put the PTV right in the back. It fits, no problem. You and your buddy can get in the front seat of your core, fly to where you need to go, land a couple kilometers away from the guns behind a rock and get in the PTV and take off in your little Apple golf cart and go knock on the door of the bunker without a problem. I love the core. It's one of my favorite early bunker runners in the game. Outside of that, I would have to say my next favorite my favorite bunker runner besides that would probably be the medical Pisces. And yeah, you're not going to be able to do hostile bunkers without having to run a long way, but you got the med bed in there, and you got snacks and food and drinks and all of that stuff in there. So it's cool. Jim brings up a good point. The Cuddy Red's a good bunker runner as well. You can fit a PTV in there. You can also fit a rock in the Cuddy Red as well. You have to have, if you're going to put a rock in there, you have to have a keybind to open and close all doors. Otherwise, you'll not be able to fit around the rock to open your door. So what I usually do is if the door is right here, I park so that the mining arm is right there on the edge of the door. And then when you get in and out of your seat, you pretty much pop right into the room where the medical beds are. You go turn on your ship, hit the door button and fly away. And then you just run up to it, climb back into land, open up your doors, run out of the cockpit, jump into your rock, turn it on, back it out, and go do your thing. I love it. I'm a loot whore, so I like the 315p loaded with 12 SCU item boxes, so you never fill her up. Nice.
Thank you so much for watching, as always.
Thank
Again,
you,
thank
Mike.
you for stopping by the live streams and saying hello. Hopefully you've been enjoying some new videos that I've been posting lately, and as well the new podcast. So once again, thank you so much.
Thanks, Mike. Let me share that with you guys. So if you want to watch it on your own and not listen to me talk over it, here you go. Enjoy that how you wish. Thanks, Mike. I don't stop by your live streams for the most part because I'm either at work or sleeping, and that's the only reason why. Otherwise, I don't mind hanging out in Mike's live streams every once in a while. Like I said, his chat is absolutely nutty. Absolutely nutty. Let's go with before we do that, you know what? Let's do some. We've been talking about a lot of pirating and stuff like this on this channel, so let's talk about some pirating. And apparently, this guy got robbed in Star Citizen. Let's see what he's got to say. This is, before it gets going, this is, hey, no. Hold on a second.
There is a way that I think we can use the mechanics.
Okay, just stop. It's amateur hour here on Star Citizen's channel. Hold on. All right. This is, I got robbed in Star Citizen. What I learned, Marty McFly. Love the name, Marty McFly. All right, Marty, show us what happened. He's going to Pickers Field. There's a ship down there. There's 2 ships down there. No, do not target. All right. What he's doing right here, what he says right here, this is some of the worst advice anybody could give you. Do not ever, doesn't matter what you're doing, do not ever target a ship. If you can, scan them. Reason being, when you target them, they get a noise in their cockpit. All right? They get a noise in there. They know they've been locked. And if they're anything like me, I have one of my buttons double key bound to nearest hostile and nearest attacking hostile. So as soon as somebody locks onto me, I hit that button. And if somebody has me locked, boom, I lock them right back. I know who they are, what they're doing, what they're in, everything. Scan them. If you know most of the ships in Star Citizen, even if you just get the outline, you'll know what you're working with. If you scan the whole ship all the way through, once again, they get an alert. They get an alert too that they've been pinged or that they've been scanned. But if they don't know what that sound is, then you can get away with it. Scan them first. Do not do this. Do not target anybody's ship. Don't do it. All right, so, and he's keeping them targeted. Bad move, buddy. Bad move. And he's still got him targeted. Prevention is better than a cure. If multiple ships are there that can handle big cargo, don't land. I mean, you got to weigh the risk. Go to the local space station and get another server. Or just leave and go somewhere else and wait.
Engines off.
Use your ship for cover with guns pointed at it. All right, there's a fallacy behind this. If you wear heavy armor, you go really slow. You can't even run. And yes, the time to kill has gone up, but if you can't run and move between cover, you're just going to absorb more hits. You know, and the more hits you absorb, the closer to dying you get. And that's not good. That's not good at all. The only thing that's going to protect you is desync. So you better be able to move fast, because then you'll desync and the person will have a harder time shooting at you. So move fast, stay low, use cover. That's why I usually go light arms, light legs, medium armor, medium helmet. Because if you're going to get caught out in the open getting shot, it doesn't matter if you're wearing heavy armor or not, you're going to get shot the shit up and you're going to die. That's just really how it's going to be. And most people aren't shooting at your legs and your arms. They're shooting at your core and your head. So if you're going to wear heavy armor, I would recommend go heavy head, heavy body, light arms, light legs, and then you can still move fast. He's not wrong on the heals. You should always have heals and a multi-tool on you. Always. The danger increases in magnitude once you buy a cover. The more you know before that, the better. Okay, I mean, he's not wrong there. He's not right there. Yes, it's Chrissy's Holy Shield. You should have hit that elevator button before you left, because I made that same mistake and I got my ship taken last night. You're not moving cover to cover. You're running right down the middle. Right down the middle. You're not going from cover to cover. Now you're in cover. And now you're standing right out in the open again. Right out in the open. You're not checking your left. There's a ship to your left and you're not checking. You're going right underneath the ship. You don't know if they're going to come out of the elevator or not. Still standing out in the middle of the open. The middle of the open, that's what I meant to say. He still has never glanced to the left. See that ship to the left? He's never glanced left. He's running straight. And you're out in the middle of the open, bro. There's nowhere for you to hide out here. And there's a guy. Nope. Shoot first, ask questions later. Comms aren't even up. Comms aren't even up. Shoot him. Shoot him. Shoot him. That's another good point, Jim. He did land very far away. Shoot him. The comms aren't up. Shoot him. Oh, you are gonna die, buddy. There's another guy. Comms are not up. Shoot him. Shoot him. The comms are not up. Shoot him. Shoot them both. Shoot them. Oh my God. You've already blown it, dude. They both had their guns away at one point. Shoot him. Shoot him. Okay, guys. Guys. If you see people and the comms array are down, I don't give a damn if you're Care Bears or not, or you don't like PvP or not. You are setting yourself up to get robbed, shot down, shot in the back while you're using the terminal if you do not kill these guys. Just like he said on the video, just like the guys are saying in chat, you are taking a major, major risk that these guys are not going to mess with you. He's had the opportunity now to kill both of them, and he did not do it. Exactly, Jim. They're waiting for him to load your. They're waiting for you to load your ship so they can take it. Shoot these guys. If there is no comms array up and you're worried about getting a crime stat, no comms. That means your safety should be off and your finger on the trigger, ready to blow these guys out of the water as soon as you land. He doesn't even have a full magazine in. He's at 26 of 30 rounds. Big mistake. Big mistake. He's making mistakes all the way around. Shoot him. Yes, check your corners. If this guy was already there, he would have had a free kill as soon as I'm done with this terminal. You had a free kill 30 seconds ago, buddy. That too, Jim. You could always just leave. Now, see, this is where he had both of them. He had both of them. Let me make sure that this is, it's in 720. What is up with that? He had both of them right where he needed them. He could have unloaded 1.5 mags, and they'd both be dead. Problem solved. Now they're spread out. Now you just put yourself in bigger danger than you were in before. Stranger. Yeah, we're watching How to Get Pirated FPS. This guy is making so many big mistakes, and he's trying to like come across as like, I know what I'm doing. When he paid now. No, your time to be hypervigilant was 3.5 minutes ago. You should have shot. There's no comms up. You should have shot these guys. If you're worried about a crime stat, no comms up. Shoot these guys. Shoot them. But I'm gonna do it right in the middle, right in the open, so they get free shots on me, even if I zigzag. Dude, turn around and shoot him. Good job, man. Good job. This was horrifying to watch. Whatever this guy says, don't do it. I'm serious. Whatever this guy is telling you guys to do, don't do it. Sorry, guys. Checking what my wife had to say. You wouldn't have had to say GG's if you would have just fucking shot him. Yeah, or leave next time.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.
What are you gonna do?
System.
What are you gonna do? What is the Cuddy Blue gonna do? What is it? What is an arrow gonna do? Against... Oh my god. Okay. I'll give him this. Wait. Destroy everything left. It doesn't matter. Really? Okay. I'll share this with you guys. I can't like this video. I can't. It's horrible advice. Don't follow it. Please don't follow. I mean, there was a couple of good tidbits of information in there, but do not follow this man's advice. I want to see some of the comments. We're going to sort by newest. Yep, that guy brought that up. Never target ships, better to scan. That way you don't alert them. Great pointers? No, terrible pointers. Bit of advice, don't leave your ship with your doors open, ramps, or the elevator down. Yep. See something that has a QED like a Mantis, Cuddy Blue, or Scorpius Centaurus. Other big threats would be ships that can easily destroy other big ships. Ares, F8C, Retaliator, or Eclipse, or a C2. A C2 will absolutely shred another C2 if it's got size 5 ADBs on it. Actually, those pirates were not terrible. They did everything right. This person right here is terrible. Viral Sun. These pirates are just terrible. No, the guy playing the game was terrible. Yeah, this guy's got it. Yeah. Okay. I'm done looking at that. This is just terrible. I'm sorry. It's terrible. It's super terrible. Do not follow this guy's advice. It's going to get you killed. Like it did with him. It's going to get you killed. So, that was that. That was Marty McFly. Yeah. Sorry, but I'm going to poo-poo all over that one. Sorry. Next one. I figured we'd talk about AI cheats, since that's been a really big thing going on lately in games like Tarkov, Call of Duty. I'm sure Valorant and Apex and Overwatch all have it as well too. If it's a competitive game in any sort of spirit, in any sort of way, then it's going to have cheat issues. So this is Jack Frags, and we're going to be talking about AI cheats in video games.
I saw something today that I wish I could unsee, but unfortunately I can't. It seems like it's a reality and it's coming soon. So I was playing Warzone earlier with my friend Geeky, and he asked me if I had seen Linus Tech Tips' new video on AI, artificial intelligence tech products at CES 2024. I hadn't seen it, so I went ahead and watched it. And the first product that he showed was a new gaming monitor from MSI that has AI tech built into it. And some of the things that you can do with this are pretty crazy. and I think it would be very difficult to detect or ban, if at all. So CES, by the way, is a yearly show in Las Vegas where all of the big tech companies go, showing off their new products, cameras, TVs, household gadgets, etc. But it also has a huge gaming presence there now too. So you get the likes of Asus, Corsair, Intel, for example, showing off all of their new gaming gear. Monitors, obviously a big deal. This year there was a lot of awesome OLED gaming monitors which look incredible. But one of these monitors that MSI brought to the table, called the MEG 321 URX QD OLED, has an AI chip built into it. And with that AI chip, it uses computer vision, I assume, to take visual data and scan the whole screen. 10 points if you can see where this is going. Now, to demo the technology, MSI had a game of League of Legends running and explained that with the current setup they had at the show, the AI was focused on the minimap in the bottom right hand corner. And when it saw an enemy indicator there, it would flash up a large skull and arrow on the screen to warn you in a much bigger and obvious way where that enemy was and to watch out for them. Keep in mind that this is not built into the game. The AI is monitoring and producing extra information.
This is crazy. These guys are basically pushing cheats with their monitor. This is crazy. I don't want to play games where everybody has some fancy monitor that can basically cheat. This is crazy. One of the biggest things I've always said in games that had mini-map, if a game has a mini-map, your mini-map awareness needs to go up tenfold. Because if it has a mini-map, you need to be paying attention to what's going on to the mini-map and not just what's going on in front of your face.
Information and images to give the player an advantage. I saw this and immediately red flags are going up. I wanted to do a bit more research on it. So I watched some other videos, read about it, and in some of the other videos, they had interviews with the people staffing the booth explaining it. So this was on the feature card that they had next to the monitor. Let's take a look what it said here. AI upgrade possibility. Trainable AI models.
Exactly, JT.
Update.
Dick
The
punches.
advent of AI eliminates the constraints previously imposed across different games. When MSI offers well-trained AI modules such as health indicator spectrum bar, users can leverage gaming intelligence to conduct local training for their preferred games. First, collect your own data depending on the games that you play, including images and footages to train your custom models. Consequently, coupled with MSI firmware update, these custom-trained AI models can be seamlessly integrated into your monitor, significantly enhancing usability across various scenarios and games. And there's another bit here, the MSI AI Engine Monitor. AI Skylight utilizes AI technology to automatically detect the enemy's position and display it on the screen.
So pay a lot of money, get wall hacks and position hacks. This is ridiculous. We don't need this stuff in video gaming. It's already bad enough. I don't know if you guys saw this, but 11,000 people got banned on Tarkov like 4 days ago. 11,000. And you're going to tell me, and they got all hit with cheating from various degrees, you know, whether it's loot vacuuming to aimbotting to wall hacking, the list goes on and on and on and on. And now you're going to build monitors that can do this for people. So now they can save money in paying the monthly cheating software companies. This is ridiculous. This should not be allowed. This should not be allowed at all. This should not be allowed at all. Gaming used to be about skill, awareness, and you know, I guess get good. I don't know, but this is ridiculous. We should not have AI basically cheating in games for you because you bought a fancy monitor.
You can use this on any game that you want based on that language, and you can feed it your own training data to make custom AI models, which means if I was using this monitor as a very primitive example, I could train it and set it up to draw a big red outline around enemies in Warzone, or put a big skull and a chevron pointing to where the enemy is in PUBG or Apex. Enemies that, you know, maybe I hadn't seen with my own eyes. Maybe enemies in darker areas, or I could program it to warn me of a sniper glint that it detects on the far corner of the screen that I naturally didn't notice with my peripheral vision. And the worst part is, because this is running on the monitor screen itself, independently of Windows without any drivers or software interacting,
you won't be able to
how
detect
would this
it.
be detected?
You won't.
Would Device Manager even pick up that there was an AI module installed on the screen? In Windows, it would probably just look like a regular monitor. If it's independent, it's not going to be there. So that's just a couple of uses that I could come up with. But there's much more to it than that, because in a couple of the interviews that I watched, this one was from a channel called Victor's Reality. The demoist said, and I quote, "Later on, the monitor might be able to react on sound as well and show you something on the screen that helps you make your game smoother and more comfortable."
Oh my God, no. There are so many games that rely on, like, where, yes, you have to be skilled, you have to have a good loadout and etc. But there's a lot of games that most of the game, how you gather intelligence or gather what's going on a map, is through sound. And, you know, I can think of a few that I play frequently, and that's Tarkov and DayZ. A lot of it's sound driven. So now you're going to have a sound hack on top of it. Oh my God. And like he's saying, these monitors are not going to come up on the cheat sheets, the cheat lists, because it's going to plug in and look just like a normal monitor. This is ridiculous. God, MSI should be ashamed of themselves. Like, I love their motherboards and stuff, but MSI should be ashamed of themselves with this right now. This is ridiculous. The fact that I can just plug in a monitor and start cheating, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Linus also mentioned sound in his video too, and I think what they're referring to here is visual audio. Some games have this built in already. Fortnite, for example, has the visual audio indicators, but it's a feature of the game and they're available for everyone to use, so that's fair, right? But here, with this monitor, I think they're insinuating that you could run audio through the monitor via HDMI or DisplayPort, and the AI will interpret that data and overlay visual indicators on the monitor.
Yes, what I'm thinking it will be able to do eventually, like the guy said, it can't do it at this moment, but eventually. Let's say I'm playing DayZ and I'm running around and somebody is matching my footsteps and running alongside of me in a forest or something like that. It'll put an indicator up on the screen somewhere over on this side, if they're on my right, saying that, hey, it detects noise. Or let's say I'm playing Tarkov and I'm corner camping like a rat and somebody starts running towards me, it'll probably give me an indicator of, oh, he's over here in this direction before he even shows up on my screen, or before, if I'm hard of hearing, before I even hear it. But this is ridiculous. This is just letting people cheat because you made a fancy monitor. I'm sure it's going to cost a lot of money, but who cares? Like I was saying, what people are paying monthly to cheat in these games, that's cheaper in the long run than paying for the cheats.
Itself from where that audio came from. Again, in any game where that feature
That's
maybe
cheating.
wasn't built in. You didn't hear a footstep sound on your left in the next room? Well, don't worry, the AI did.
Right,
It's got that data in ones and zeros, and it will show you exactly where that footstep sound came from. You can apply that to gunshots too, of course. A player making a small grunt in Tarkov that you might have missed because you were talking, whatever. I mean, come on, this is a bit of a slippery slope, isn't it? Where does this end? And I'm just coming up with a few usage examples off the top of my head here, but surely there are far more egregious and advantageous possibilities to cheat with this. And I feel like this monitor has been developed with no consideration for competitive integrity in multiplayer PvP games at all. Come to think of it, you could use this on console too, of course. I've just realized this. You wouldn't even need a PC because the tech is built into the screen itself.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. This isn't going to just be a PC problem. This is going to be a problem across all the consoles. Anything that hooks up, that you can hook up to this monitor, it will become a problem. It's going to become a problem big time. And now the cheating is already become a big time problem. And the fact that, let's just take Activision, for example, when it comes to Call of Duty and cheating, okay? When it comes to Call of Duty and cheating, there are certain streamers that get put on special lists that, even though they cheat, because they talk nicely about Call of Duty, because they do giveaways for Call of Duty and they get free publicity for Call of Duty, they allow them to cheat. But as soon as they start talking badly, as soon as they stop doing things for Activision that makes them look good, they take them off that list and they ban them for cheating immediately. So come on, fix this. Actually, don't fix this. Don't release this monitor. I know it's already going to be out this fall. So, you know, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. You're making cheating available to everybody, and you're making it in a monitor, so it's going to be very, very hard to detect.
So you could cheat on console with this. And
yeah, right,
it's not
Jim?
like this is from a small company either who
My
won't
PC
make
monitor has
many
an
of these
option.
monitors.
So does mine,
This
and
is
I never
MSI.
play with
They're
it on.
huge in the tech industry. They sell servers, laptops, graphics cards, monitors, peripherals, gaming PCs. They've just unveiled a new gaming handheld, and they sell that tech all over the world en masse. So they've had the money to build a real product like this to a high standard, advertise it, and get it in people's hands. And of course, because of the AI tech in it, they can probably sell this for an inflated cost too.
Oh,
However,
yeah.
yes, there
This is
are
gonna be like a
legitimate,
2-3 grand
useful
PC
reasons for having this in
or
the monitor
monitor.
for accessibility, etc. I think some AI tech is very cool, and MSI may have put this together with genuine intentions, but let's be real, most people are going to want.
I mean, it would be okay. He's got a point. It would be cool for people that are hard of hearing, have bad eyesight, but that's not how it's going to be used. That you know that's not how it's going to be used. Those are going to be the outliers. People that have bad eyesight, people that have bad hearing. Those are going to be the outliers. The majority of people that are going to buy this monitor are going to be the people that want to win and win at all costs. Well, now I don't have to pay monthly for you know, cheats. Now I can just buy this monitor and start winning. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And yes, fun has more in a fun for me is more of a game thing than an easy win. It always has been. I like the player interaction. I like the challenge of, you know, being shot at in games like this and others. There's a certain rush you get when you do things like this, and that monitor this monitor takes that all away. And as I said, it's gonna be outliers for people that are hard of hearing, hard of, you know, not being able to see as well. It's going to be the norm that people are using this to basically cheat their way into, you know, fame and fortune on the internet. You know it's going to happen.
Want to buy this to cheat in PvP games to get some kind of advantage and not get caught, especially when you can use it on any game and train your own custom AI models with it. To the guy's credit, in the Victor's Reality interview, the staffer does say, we don't recommend cheating with this, but I mean, you're basically showing a cheat. Like that League of Legends thing, in my opinion, that's a cheat. It's displaying new data and information, new graphics on your screen that isn't in the game. That's cheating to me.
That's
I
cheating.
actually discovered some more AI cheats when I researched this monitor today. Some of the stuff out there is crazy. There's a capture card cheat you can get where you install a capture card in a second PC, clone your monitor output to it, so there's nothing illegitimate running on your gaming PC apart from the game, which means that it's undetectable from a software perspective. And on that second PC, you run an AI software in real time that can detect enemies on the screen and figure out where to aim and control recoil in real time, and then send those commands back to your gaming PC controller or mouse, essentially aiming for you, giving you an AI aimbot. That's real. There's videos of it out there. I don't think it's working perfectly based on the footage. I don't think it's that widespread, but it's a thing that's happening and people are developing it, and it's only going to get faster and better. And that's the thing that bothers me about it. But in regards to this monitor, at some point, this will be a product that anyone can buy in stores all over the world. It will work over time. The tech will improve. It's going to get better, more efficient, more possibilities with it. Ultimately, I reckon the MSI should rethink this one before it releases. In my opinion, as a big manufacturer in the gaming space, I feel like they have a responsibility to not enable people to cheat so easily, regardless of if it was their intention or not, and kind of advertise this as a function of the monitor, because if they do then
just get rid of it. I mean, it's going to cause so many problems. We have to deal with cheaters in pretty much any competitive game that we play in. Us normal players, us normal people that just want to play a game and have a good time, we have to deal with cheaters on every level in every game, and it's getting bad to the point where people are gonna they're just not going to want to play video games anymore. It's kind of happening. You see a lot of people, more people are watching video games than they play it. And you're right, Jim. If MSI didn't do it, somebody else was going to do it. It's only a matter of time. And I don't like this. You're basically encouraging cheating and a pay to win thing, and I don't like it. Yeah, right, Drop. This is ridiculous.
Big manufacturers might too, and it sets a bad precedent for multiplayer games, not just casually, but also in online tournaments where there may be real money and opportunities on the line. I'm definitely not on board with this one, and it just seems like there are so many cheats out there now that the integrity and fairness of PvP is slipping away. I know some people might watch this and think that I'm overreacting. That's fair, but to me, I'm envisioning where this ends up, and it's not pretty. But that's all for today, folks. I had to make a video on this because I felt quite passionate about it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Drop me a like if you enjoyed the video, a dislike if you didn't, subscribe if you're new.
How could you dislike this one?
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks. I appreciate that. Thanks for bringing that to light. I enjoyed that. Let me share this with you guys here real quick. I really enjoyed that. I'm also going to give him a like as well. That was really good. I like that a lot. So just be aware that stuff is out there, and it's coming soon to a household near you where you'll be able to cheat without knowing anything about it. You just won't know. You just won't know. Oh, let's see, what else do we got here? I never actually watched that. That's weird. You know what? Let's check this out. This is from a week ago. This is called Moonshot. How CIG is making Star Citizen the world's first quadruple A game experience. So, Captain Serious Fun.
As we use our enjoyment of gaming to build beloved community, I like to always begin and end in gratitude. So thanks for checking out this video.
You're welcome, Captain Serious Fun.
Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Someward I've climbed and joined.
Like, really, you know, to go back to the video we just previously watched, the cheating has gotten so out of hand, it's unbelievable. And when companies are coming out with hardware to encourage cheating, it just makes me wonder, is that going to end up becoming the future of gaming? Having AI help you win? Really? I don't know.
Joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence.
We doing freestyle poetry?
Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up the long, delirious, burning blue. I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, where never lark nor ever eagle flew. And while with silent,
that is a cool shot watching the
trod the
rocket take
high,
off.
untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.
That would be cool.
Why some say the moon? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go.
I still think the moon, okay, I'm not going to get into whether we went there or didn't. The fact is, I believe that the entire Apollo program and going to the moon, the Gemini program, et cetera, all it was a way to get the public to look favorably upon ICBM research and construction. It shouldn't be, but we'll find out.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things.
Decade.
Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
What was it about President Kennedy's speech?
It should be all right.
September
It should be all right, JT, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Compelling then and stays with us now. It wasn't just the amount of money being spent, even for the time. Indeed, Eisenhower submitted after Kennedy's speech that spending $40 billion to reach the moon was, quote, just nuts, unquote. It wasn't just the lack of immediacy of practical outcome.
I still think it was to get the public to look favorably upon ICBM research and development. That's my opinion. That nobody else has ever said that to me in my life. That's just my feeling on it. Am I glad we went to the moon? Yeah, sure. I mean, we learned some stuff, but I really do think it was just a publicity stunt to get the public behind the development of that stuff.
I would argue it was indeed the opposite. This was the articulation of a vision, a dream, a hope. JFK was proposing something long-term that would abide in the effort, in the doing, in the result.
Basically, Jim, basically.
A national project reflecting a nation's best possible effort. I think that Paul Burka, the executive director of Texas Monthly magazine, a Rice alum who was present in the crowd that day, gets it right. He submitted that the speech, quote, speaks to the way Americans viewed the future in those days. It is a great speech, one that encapsulates all of recorded history and seeks to set it in the history of our own time.
You're right, Drophammer. You're absolutely right.
Unlike today's politicians, Kennedy spoke to our best impulses as a nation, not our worst, unquote. Indeed, even after his assassination, Kennedy's nation, replete with that hope, that dream, that vision, went on to deliver the technology, the innovation, and the will to land men on the moon and return them safely to Earth. In doing so, we turned military men into test pilots, then into astronauts, and then into legends.
True. They are, yeah, they're American heroes.
540 feet and a 15. 10 and 50 feet down at 4. Altitude, velocity, light. Go.
Looked like Damar they were about to land on.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
It's that cycle of becoming one's best, of doing things at your best that, in the moment, seem not to be possible, and then forging the new thinking and the new practices that make it possible, that I want to talk about with you today.
A lot of what holds us back as humans is we get stuck with the words won't, can't, and we have to turn that into, you know, can and will. Anything's possible. It's usually yourself that gets in the way of what you want to achieve. You know, like I said, it's that vocabulary of can't and won't, and it has to be changed to can and will. I really do think that a lot of us hold ourselves back. It's not usually somebody on the outside. It's yourself and the way you think. Yeah, welcome to Scard's Philosophical Corner.
Because I believe that after a decade or two of something else in gaming, we're on the cusp of a moment in gaming that harkens back to this moonshot sentiment.
Exactly.
And while this
Jim.
video won't seek to encapsulate all of video game history and set it in the history of this project, I do think it is important for you to understand my own gaming history and the resultant context it gives me when I submit that Star Citizen is in fact the first quadruple A experience in video gaming history. The project.
There's a lot to be debated there. I say, I probably won't be able to find it.
History and the resultant context it gives me when I submit that Star Citizen is in fact the first.
He says it's the first quadruple A experience. Well, there's a couple of problems with that, good sir. And I don't mean to poo-poo on your experience. It's not even a game right now. It's a alpha test or a development project, or it is a engine test, or it is a test to sell off an engine. It's many different things, but it is not a AAA gaming experience or even a quadruple A experience. I would venture to say it's a AA gaming experience right now. Does it have potential? Yes, it does. It has plenty of potential. But a turd has about as much potential right now as anything. It really does, because we've seen what happens with games that get touted as being the first to do this and the first to do that and the first to do this. Just go back a month ago and look at what happened with The Day Before. It was the first to do a lot of things, and then it turned out to be one of the worst games ever created. So, you know, I'm with this game. Here's what I've learned from Star Citizen in the nearly 2 years that I've been playing. Keep your expectations at a normal level, because if you go too high or you go too low, you're going to get burned. You're just going to get burned when it comes to this game.
First quadruple A experience in video gaming history. The project, to my mind, encapsulates all of video gaming and seeks to set its best intent in our own current chaotic moment. In doing so, in reaching for the gaming stars, it has one singular, transformative, amazing chance to become a true video gaming legend. Let me tell you more.
Don't get me wrong. I want it to be that. There he is, Christ Roberts, original griefer, first of his name. Where's Tony Z? Where's Tony Z? No Tony Z? Ah.
Where I stand on video games generally, and on Star Citizen in particular, comes from where I've sat. I happen to be of an age where I came up, I was raised alongside two massive cultural phenomena, hip-hop music and video gaming. As both grew to prominence, well, I've been here for it all. Why my own hip-hop history has to be another video. In 1976, my father, himself a big cookout pinochle and electric football player, brought home my first video game console, the Telstar Ranger.
You're watching the most exciting game you will ever see on your TV set. Telstar by Coleco.
Described as the most exciting.
My grandma had, and I played it when I was a kid. It was called the Odyssey 2000. It's very similar to this. Very, very, very similar to this. Even if something is good, it may not work in the naturalistic ecosystem, and Ultima Online was removed in alpha because players drove the creatures into extinction. Yeah, there's a lot of problems that come in the video game industry, a lot of problems, and you can have the greatest scope and vision, but the delivery might get messed up, or the management might get messed up, or the development might get messed up. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in video gaming, and the thing with Star Citizen is it promises this grand vision, but we've only really just gotten our toes wet when it comes to what the vision the vision that was promised to us. We've only really stuck our toe into the water, because it's nowhere near what they've described it to be. Not yet.
Exciting game ever on the TV set. It wasn't necessarily that, but it was a start in gaming for 6-year-old me. From there, I went on to own and play with the Atari 2600, the Intellivision, really the Sears Super Video Arcade, because everything in our house came from Sears, where I played Tron Deadly Discs until my thumbs fell off, the Texas Instruments TI-99-4A, my first computer, the Apple IIe with the green phosphorescent Monitor 3 on which I played Elite and Sundog, my second computer, the Commodore 64 with my first 300 baud 1660 modem. I wasn't a CompuServe guy, I was a Prodigy guy. My third computer, and then I got my first IBM PC clone, the Compaq Desk Pro 286. And while, of course, consoles stayed in my life, even to this day, I really became a PC gaming guy forevermore after that. My love of PC gaming.
My first PC in the house was a Tandy 1000. That was my first PC.
Took off and never has landed. And while we could talk Zork or a Calabeth or front page sports football, The legacy of Star Citizen is found in the history and the legacy of the sim games of all kinds we played growing up.
I had that game.
Sim games like what? Well, glad you asked. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Hours with games and sims like F-15 Strike Eagle, F-15 Strike Eagle 2, F-15 Strike Eagle 3, F-19 Stealth Fighter, running full 3-hour nonstop races in Papyrus and EA's seminal Indianapolis 500 The Simulation, Star Wars X-Wing, Star Wars TIE Fighter, Star Wars X-Wing versus TIE.
These titles right here, some of my favorite sci-fi space sim titles of all time. I'm like, how's the weather? It's rainy. It's rainy. It's not bad. It's just rainy, a little chilly, but you know, it's not Chicago weather. So I thank the Lord for that.
TIE Fighter, and of course X-Wing Alliance.
X-Wing
where we can fly
Alliance.
the Millennium Falcon, the Elite Series, Star Control, Sci-Fi Trading Company, Interplay's seminal
Starfleet,
Star
I had
Trek
that one.
Starfleet Academy, Microsoft Flight Simulator,
Had
Microsoft
that.
Space Simulator,
Had that.
iWar with the incredibly characterized Jefferson
not have
Clay,
that.
iWar 2, the 10 out of 10 undeniable Free Space 2, the Community
Free
Free
Space.
Space 2 mods and total conversions like the incredible Beyond the Red Line, based on the reimagined TV show Battlestar Galactica, of course, all the Wing Commander,
Commanders.
Privateer,
Yep,
Freelancer
had Wing
series,
Commanders.
excluding Wing Commander Academy, and the 11 out of 10 experience that was Falcon 4.0. Does anyone still have the manual? I'll buy it off you.
I didn't have
I
Falcon
could go on
4.0,
and
but I had Jane's Advanced Combat Fighters or whatever it was called.
on. But suffice to say that, like hip hop,
How you doing, Allergic?
I feel that with home video gaming, I've been here since the beginning. And I can tell you that across all those decades, my friends and I have used that time, not just for play, but for contemplation, for insight. And I can tell you truthfully, there has been nothing at all like Star Citizen. What makes me submit that? What makes me submit that this is?
He's kind of right. There is nothing quite like Star Citizen, and I think that's what brings us all back over and over and over and over and over again. Is that it's not quite like anything else out there, but that I don't know. I still disagree with him. This is not a quadruple A gaming experience yet. If anything, it's a double A, maybe even a single A, because there's a lot of things holding them back right now. Can they overcome it? Only time will tell. Can they get the promised Jesus tech out to us? Only time will tell. Will the Jesus tech work right? Only time will tell. I'm trying not to be negative. I'm just saying there's a lot of things that have been promised. There's a lot of things that have been said are coming. There's been a lot of things that have been put on hold for 9 years. There's a lot of things there's just a lot of things that have been pushed to the wayside or been talked about for years and years and years, and we still haven't gotten it yet. Now, granted, I've only been here for 2 years, but I've tried to delve as deep as I can into previous sitcoms, old Spectrum posts, old Reddit posts, old YouTube videos, and find what these guys were talking about 12 years ago, 11 years ago, 10 years ago, last year even, because there's a lot of times what they say and what they post is not anything like we get in this game. Is that a good thing? Sometimes. Is it a bad thing? I'm not going to say a lot of the times, but once again, sometimes. And it hurts because everybody's got a different level of investment in this game, whether it's thousands and thousands of dollars or it's just, a $45 ship. People have varying and then emotional, because like I said, this game is not like a lot of other games. I think, the other day I was having a conversation with somebody on Discord, and I think, one of the reasons why we're seeing the amount of toxicity in chat, I hate using that word, but everybody knows what I mean when I say that, and the absolute ramblings of madmen that are PvEers on Spectrum, is because this game is like Second Life, and it pulls in people that want to have this Second Life experience. So that's what I think is drawing some of the, I don't want to say weirdos, but people that are so just want to be absolutely left alone at every level of the game. So I think that's where that comes from.
The first quadruple A gaming experience of all time. I
not
have 3 distinct reasons.
I guarantee you Scope is going to be
Reason
one of them.
number 1, the synthesis of tech, heretofore unseen.
None of the tech is brand new. If anything, the planetary tech at the time was pretty new, but then other games beat them out, like No Man's Sky and a few others. I can't sit here and say I know every single video game that's used the same tech, because I don't, and I'm not going to pretend like I do.
By the time you see this, CitizenCon 2953 and its panels will have passed, and we will have gotten new, leading-edge insight into the tech that drives our verse. From Star Engine to resource management tech.
Star Engine, okay. Star Engine is not new. It is not new, people. It is based on a 21-year-old gaming engine. It's 21 years old. It was based off of the original CryEngine, which then got modded and turned into Lumberyard, which then got modded again and turned into Star Engine. It is based off of a 21-year-old engine, which is why it doesn't work the way it's supposed to work and doesn't do the things that they want it to do, and they have to create new technology to work around it. It's because the engine is so damn archaic. You have to understand, we've had nearly three Unreals come out in the time that they've started using CryEngine. 3. I'm not saying CryEngine is better than Unreal, or Unreal is better than CryEngine. It is a dated and old engine, which is another reason why, okay, besides the Jesus tech they have to invent themselves to get the engine to work the way they want it to, why do you think, like, I don't know, every year there's a couple of dozen ISCs or Star Citizen Lives where they bring the devs on and, oh, look, they have another tool to play with. Why? Because they have to create new tools to fix the problems that they have with Star Engine. So I don't know what to tell you guys. This fallacy of Star Engine is brand new tech. It is not brand new tech. None of it is brand new. I'm sorry to tell you. Pass me the doll. I'll point it out.
To the unprecedented detail in ships and in ground vehicles, to new user interfaces and evolved character creation.
Okay, new user interfaces. I'm going to tell you this right now. The user interfaces are no different than any other game that's currently out there. And the user interfaces, most of the time, break or don't work. Why? Because it's tied to the server, or it's tied to, as I said, a engine that is 21 years old. That is why it doesn't work. So I'm not going to agree with him on the UI. The UI, most of the time, it doesn't freaking work. I mean, it just doesn't.
To the next steps in AI and NPC function.
Okay, next steps in AI and NPC function. Why is it that I can drop a grenade right next to a Ninetales guy, like literally just drop it right next to him, and he'll stand there and look at it until he dies? Or me shoot him in the back of the head, I'll put 4 or 5 rounds into him, and he doesn't even move. Or the fact that I can walk right in front of him. We did this on stream one day. We walked right in front of an AI with his gun out, pointed right at me, and it took him 6 seconds to pull the trigger. And that was on a server with 58 people on it. You're telling me that this AI is top-notch, never been done before, so awesome? Like, I'm sorry to poo-poo on your parade here, mister. I don't know you, and I'm not trying to shit all over your opinion and what you think is great about this game. But the AI is still standing on fucking tables. They're still standing on fucking tables. They still answer, or they still respond. They don't even respond. They still say the exact same damn thing they've been saying for 3 years. We just saw it on Salty Mics. They've been saying, would you like some noodles? Would you like some noodles? Would you like some noodles? This is not advanced AI. Until Squadron 42 comes out and they can show me advanced AI and then port it over to the PU, this is not advanced AI. I play other games, multiplayer and single player, where the AI will absolutely shit all over you, pull your head off, and then take another dump down your neck because they're actually good AI. This is not good AI. This is not good AI at all. I go to 30 FPS bunkers like we used to have back in 317, and I would dump all over these guys. Me and a buddy would go in there and we would dump all over them. I can dump all over them all on my own. This is not advanced AI. This is not advanced AI. I'm sorry, it's not. They can't even fly their fucking ships right. More often than not, they'll ram you before they actually shoot you down. So don't give me this that this AI is advanced and beyond anything we've seen before, because it's shit. It is absolute shit. And every major patch, every single major patch, what do we see in the patch notes? It's almost right out, or they almost lead with it every single time. These are the AI fixes we've made for this patch, and blah, 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 blah. They're not going to stand on tables. They're not going to be, you know, walking into the floor. They're not going to say the same voice things over and over. They're going to actually fly better. They're actually going to land on various different spots on planets and drop off reinforcements. They don't do any of that. They don't do any of that. They haven't done any of that in the 2 years I've been here. If anything, they get worse and worse and worse every patch cycle, and not even close to being better than they were the patch before. It's placeholder AI.
To the flight model, 30th century environments, missions, and gameplay. It's kind of easy to argue that all of it put together at this level has, in general, never been done before.
Yes, it's been done on various different levels before. To this degree of high fidelity, no, not quite. To this degree of physicalized locations, physicalized items, not to this degree, yes. But it has been done before in smaller, lesser degrees.
But in particular, the detail and scale being attempted by CIG regarding the replication layer and server meshing via graphing to 3D environments simply particular. The detail and scale being attempted by CIG regarding the replication layer.
All right, let's talk about the replication layer for a minute. Did anybody play in the tech demo that was the replication layer? Once again, I'm not trying to poo-poo on this guy's opinion or what he is trying to say here, because yes, this level of server meshing and replication hasn't been quite done before, but it has been done in other games. PlanetSide 2, Scavengers, just to name a couple. But if you play the tech demo, what will you hear that happened in the tech demo? The replication layer, they were forcing it to crash, and guess how long you had to wait? 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes for that to come back online. Is it better than a straight up 30K? Yes, it is. But is this some sort of marvelous Jesus tech that is going to save the gaming universe, more specifically Star Citizen? No, not yet. We're a long way from that. We're a long way from that. This by summer of 2024 for replication layer, server meshing, and pyro, I'm telling you guys, don't hold your breath, because you could be holding your breath for a really long time. Really long time. So, you know, just be careful. Just be careful. NVIDIA Ace AI showed off at this year's CES. I'm going to have to watch that. I really am going to. I'm kind of a NVIDIA fanboy to a degree. Once again, I won't defend everything they do because they've made some bad decisions, but I really like NVIDIA products. If you don't call out the flaws, they will never get fixed. That's exactly. I don't want this game to fail. I don't want this game to fail. I don't want this game to fail. That's 3 times I've said it. I want this game to be the game that my children look back on and go, but is that game anywhere near as good as Star Citizen? Similar to how action RPGs people are like, well, but is it as good as Diablo 2? It's been 20 years since Diablo 2 has come out. 21 years, 22 years since Diablo 2 has come out. They need, like, every ARPG that comes out gets compared to Diablo 2, and with good reason. It's one of the greatest action RPGs that's ever been created. It was the first to do so many things, and it did it so well. I want that for Star Citizen. I want that for Star Citizen. But for people that are going to sit here and tell me that all this stuff, it's never been done before, the scope, the scale, the high fidelity, none of that means shit if the game doesn't work.
And server meshing via graphing to 3D environments simply has never been done before.
Yes, it has been done before. We just went over that. I'm sorry, but yeah, we just went over that. It's all been done before.
not ever in gaming, and maybe not ever at all.
It has been done.
Quote in my own first YouTube video, Tibio's Twisted World in one of his own first YouTube videos when he responds to critics regarding this attempted feat by CIG and the critical bah humbug submission across these here internets.
And as a networking person, just stop. Just stop that. This level of problem they're trying to solve has baffled since the Enlightenment. This is not simple stuff they're doing. Frankly, I can't believe they have the guts to try it.
No, it's not simple. And I'm not saying that these people don't know how to do their job. What I'm saying is that it's hard to pull off. And the timelines that we're giving are not that we're getting are sometimes not feasible at all. And they should not even be talking about it. But at the same time, it's once again, that's a double-edged sword too, because you have people that have paid in from $35 to tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands to even $1 million backers. You owe them some sort of information, but don't tease us by saying, hey, it's going to be out this summer. And then when we're sitting here in the summer of 2025 and it's just coming out and they're like, yay, we did it. And guys like me and Grumpy and Salty and other people that call them out and go, hey, you said summer of 2025. All the white knights and the people at CIG go, why do you got to shit all over it? You know, at least they did it. No, that's not the point. That's not the point. That was never the point. We're just telling you guys to temper expectations. We're telling you that this stuff has been done before to this scope. Sometimes, yes. To this scope, sometimes, no. But it has been done before. It's how are they going to implement it? And like I said, I think one of their biggest hangups, two of their biggest hangups, is using Amazon servers and that they're using a 21-year-old engine to do all of this on. What they've done so far, it's pretty amazing. But we can't sit here and say, never been done before. Jesus Tech this, Jesus Tech that, mod tools this, mod tools that, because that's not a game. It's technical aspects of a game. We don't play the technical aspects of the game. We play the damn game.
So please don't minimize what they're trying to do.
I wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment. Most of us don't know what it is like to work in an environment committed every day to the creation of something perfectly unique from next to nothing.
Okay, I'd like to raise my hand. I do. We make something perfectly unique every single day with the products that are provided for us, and we continue to innovate and create new things. So I know what that's like, and it's not easy, and it's very, very hard. But once again, to sit here, for me to sit here and say that the company that I work for, doing the things that I do there, that it is only unique to my company and our product, that is a lie. That is a bold-faced lie. It's a bold-faced lie.
Delivery of two pillars, results and culture. The actual ultimate outcome as a result of several thousand small outcomes. The game, or two, that we get to play, and at the same time, the daily ways of life, the culture that's exhibited and built and created and delivered for all the human beings involved. The strategic insights, partnership.
The culture? All right, I'm not saying this about the devs. The devs are doing their job. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But it's amazing how when a brand new ship comes out, even though there's hundreds of ships in the backlog that haven't even been worked on because they need this tech or they need that tech, but a new ship comes out and everybody goes, woo, yay! Or they put out sub gear for new players that we know you can't get back because most of the time your body sinks to the middle of the planet, or, you know, your ship was destroyed out in the middle of nowhere and there's no real easy way to get back to it. So you just say, fuck it. And you have to wait for a whole nother patch cycle to get it back. This is where this stuff needs to end, because the CIG marketing, the upper management, they just want your money. They just want your money. The management has not been good here. You know, Salty has talked to people, Grumpy has talked to people, Level Cap has talked to people, not Level Cap, Board Gamer has talked to people. the devs that work there and how many times they get put onto a project, yanked off the project, put on a new project, they're almost done with it. Guess what? We're not doing that anymore. They get yanked off of that project, go put on another project. It's not the dev's fault. It's management and marketing. And marketing seems to try to squeeze every dime they can get out of us at any moment. At any moment. I will say this about marketing. They're probably one of the best in the world, because how many people can keep selling the same damn ships with the same damn functionality, with the game going not really anywhere that fast, get away with charging 400, 500, 1,000, 12,000 for a ship, and they get people to open their wallets and do it.
Group dynamics, additions, exits, the steps forward, back.
I'll check out the NVIDIA
room entirely. The late nights, the early mornings. Very few of us have shown that type of commitment to anything, even to ourselves. As we have the opportunity to bear witness to the synthesis of tech, to offer the heretofore unseen in gaming, I'd imagine we'd get excited, lower the critical voice, and elevate the voice that invites us to imagine not only what we will be able to do across CIG gaming space with new tech, but interestingly, what CIG will be able to share with others. Voice and elevate the. I'd imagine we get excited, lower the critical voice.
No, don't lower the critical voice. These guys are playing around with $800 million over 10 years, and we still have one system. The flight system is broken, and they're trying to redo it again, or so they say. FPS doesn't work most of the time. AI is retarded. They are retarded. Yes, I use the hard R, but look at what they're doing. If you look up the word, they provide no, I forget the definition, but they provide no services to the game. They provide, it doesn't move it forward, and it's all about moving forward, and they are stopping the moving forward on that stuff. What else is going on in the game? Siege of Orison. Siege of Orison hasn't worked since they introduced it. Here, let me get on another one. The Hull C. The Hull C. It sat there forever and ever and ever in a backlog. They finally get it out. They up the price. They charge $500 for the damn ship. It still doesn't work. It still doesn't work. We're going into the next EPTU, and it works some of the time. So you took a bunch of people's money and gave them a busted-ass ship. Don't give me this lower the critical voice. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Don't give me the lower the critical voice, because we need to be more critical of them in a constructive way. We can't just go in there and be like, oh, the game sucks. No, we need to be critical. We need to hold them accountable, because they are stealing money from you in some aspects. The Hull C, it's been out for how long? 3 months, 4 months? People paid $500 for the ship, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
And elevate the voice that invites us to imagine not only what we will be able to do across CIG gaming space with new tech.
Look, you can imagine all you want. You can imagine all you want, but imagining is just like wishing. It really is. You can wish in one hand and you can shit in the other. I'm sorry, which one fills up? The one with shit in it. Because imagination is still the same thing as wishful thinking. You can imagine all you want. That doesn't mean it's going to become a reality. You know, we sit here, we theory craft, and we do all this stuff on this channel. You know, the viewers, the chatters, the naysayers, we do all of it. We do all of it. But guess what? That is not the reality of the game.
But interestingly,
that's true,
CIG
Brian.
will be able to share.
Paid money that I could lose, so I can see potential. Yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. If you have money that you set aside for your hobby and you're willing to pay into the game, that's great. By all means, that's great. But I still say the same thing. Like, we should not be paying, like, people that paid $500 for the Hull C once it got released into the game, they should be allowed a refund, because it hasn't worked in 3-4 months, maybe 5 months, but it's been a while now. It does not work. And then it only works some of the time in EPTU right now, in the current EPTU that we're in right now. So, and that sort of stuff needs to change. It's the same with, remember the big F8C event? That if you don't realize that was plain and simple a money grab so that they could make an extra, what was it, $8 million over the course of a week, you're lying to yourself. They were at one of their lowest points financially bringing in money that they released the F8C. Do you think the same thing is going to happen next summer where they run into a point where they're not making enough money and they won't release, let's say, the F7A? It'll happen. I'm telling you, it'll happen. They'll do something. Rhino, what's up?
Reason number 2, the centering of community in the experience of Star Citizen game development and funding. Speaking of us, of community, do me a favor. For those of you in the community who weren't here.
Okay, so you're going to speak upon community, but you're going to only show, you're going to talk about I know where he's going with this. He's going to talk about the aspect of CitizenCon, aka WhaleCon. These are the people that have paid the most amount of money in and are willing to pay up to $2,000 to go spend 2 days watching SitCon. Like I said, in upwards of $2,000. There's people that came from other parts of the world that paid even more. To do what? Sit there and clap and say, ooh, and ah, and look at that. I don't know if you guys watched my coverage of SitCon Day 2. We absolutely shat all over star hair and star cloth. That adds nothing to the game that we backed. I mean, it does, but not in an impactful way. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And I understand they have to release this stuff and they have to get it out to us, but what does it really do other than make you look cool or look pretty? We want gameplay. This game is a mile wide and an inch deep, and if you don't see it, I'm sorry. You've got to understand this is what's going on.
At or near the beginning, just take a look at the video history of the Star Citizen YouTube channel to understand how, from the very start, this project was about community inclusion at its most authentic. The clear intent.
It's about the community's money. That's what it's about. They don't take anything from us. They don't fix bugs. They don't look at the reports. They don't give a damn what we have to say. And then when it comes to the way they handle their TOS, they don't handle the TOS the same way from person to person, situation to situation. They just ban or suspend people how they see fit, even if it matches up or doesn't match up with the TOS. Star map greater than Dangle physics.
And to do so, the mistakes in communication, the shaping and reshaping of shows and offerings, of the website, of the evolution of Spectrum, of longer form contributions like Jump Point, Evocati Access, Issue Council approaches.
Ooh, avocado access. To do what? Just what does avocado access actually do? Because the last 320, what are we in? We're in 321, right? 322? Whatever patch we're in now. Who the hell cares at this point? I mean, not really, but from 318 till today, I know people that are in avocado, and they told them these are the things that are wrong. These are the major issues that are wrong with your patch. It's not going to work. It's not working, and they still released it anyways. So don't give me this, oh, they listen to the community and everything is about the community and they do what the community wants, because they don't. They don't at all.
In development. Bar citizens, virtual bar citizens, citizen cons. Again, a con for a game that has not yet been released. All of that and more reflects one pillar of how CIG has been community-centered in very unique ways.
It's only community-centered because that's where they get their money from, dude.
Particularly for games at the highest end of fidelity delivery.
To answer your question, JT, what brings in more money? Fixes to the ships they've already sold or selling new ships? It's selling new ships. Because everybody goes, oh, new, shiny, you got to buy the ship. Oh, new, shiny, got to buy the ship. And meanwhile, there's people, and I'm not one of them, there's people that have bought ships for a lot of money back 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and those ships aren't out yet, and they're probably not going to be out for quite a few more years. You know, they're trying to push out the Polaris. Why? What's the point of having a Polaris in this game right now? Like, honestly, what is the literal purpose of having a Polaris in this game right now? There's nothing to hunt with it except for other Polaris. I mean, I don't know. I know it was rhetorical, but I figured I'd answer it.
Delivery and performance.
Yeah, the poor cat people are still waiting for their fixes.
The other pillar is a more pragmatic, more straightforward one. It's simpler. We fund the game.
Yeah.
Yes, there are a couple of silent partners that CIG have brought into the project, but the vast majority of funds for everything that we are to this point has come from us. No publisher looming over the shoulder of every dev and every decision, more beholden to institutional.
They need a publisher holding them accountable and pushing them to work harder and faster, because I'm sorry, some of the implementation, how long it's taken, is absolutely ludicrous.
Investors and bonuses than to a vision. No quarterly cycle of development that drives tool and feature truncation serving as completion. No resultant overall diminishment of the larger project outcome.
Have a good day, Squirrel.
Because of those ostensible choices, which are really forced outcomes themselves.
Thanks for stopping by, Squirrel. Appreciate you, man.
CIG devs get to go on, exploring and implementing the fullness of their ideas, exploring and implementing new tools and new.
Depends on the publisher. Maybe if they have a publisher that understands what they're doing, then yeah, but that's not necessary of every game. I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto 6. They have a publisher. They've been allowed to go at I believe they're at 9 years of development right now, and over $1 billion spent into the game. I mean, they're letting their devs do whatever the hell they want.
Functionality and not cutting edge, not leading edge, but edge of edge technologies. That all comes from us, from our commitment to the same. We realize that if we just reflected upon these two pillars alone, we'd have an emergent definition of a form of highest end gaming that dwarfs current models for AAA games. But in fact,
that's only if they can pull it off. Like, more and more I watch this, a lot of times I feel like Sitcon is just a proof of concept that their engine works so that they can sell it off. I don't know the legalities behind it, because it is a modified cry engine to a lumber mill or lumberyard to Star engine, but I do believe it's going to be sold off.
There's a third pillar that ensures that what we're in the midst of is something entirely new, suitably different from what's come before. Reason number 3, the relentless ambition of Chris Roberts.
Chris Roberts, amazing visionary. There's a lot of the ability to inspire people to work. There's a lot of really good things about Chris Roberts, but one thing I will say, he has very terrible management skills, and I think a lot of this comes down to his terrible management skills. And I also feel that sometimes having 3 Roberts sitting on the board doesn't help matters either. I don't. It's, what is it? It's 4 Roberts or 3 Roberts members and 2 Sup Coffin. I think it's 3 Roberts family members and 2 of their very close friends. And I think that is a problem. I think that's a big problem. And I think other board members are required. There used to be a 7th board member. It was a South African investor, but he got booted. I don't have all the details. Grumpy's talked about it a few times, but yeah, he was there and then he got booted. So there's that.
Please welcome to the stage, Chris Roberts.
Chris Roberts.
Good morning, everyone. So here we go. Press my little
Oh
button.
my God! Did you hear that? Chris Roberts spoke to me. He said good morning to me, and not to you guys.
So what am I going to build? So I'm going to build a universe, and the sort of name of the universe or the community I'm talking about is going to be called Star Citizen. the idea is that there's sort
Because he doesn't have the rights to Wing Commander anymore. That's why.
of something that you can attain and work towards. And also, I like the idea of citizenship because I sort of feel like one of the things I want to do with this game is I want to say, hey, you know what? You know, PC games are cool, space games are cool, and you know, I think it's kind of a community.
The focus of Chris Roberts in this moment, with these opportunities, you know, one, the development of brand new tech that has never been seen before, and two,
it's not brand new tech. The procedural planet thing was brand new when it came out, but it's now been used by multiple different games. The server meshing, it was done in PlanetSide, it was done in Scavengers, it was done in a couple of other games. None of this is really that new. It really is not that new. It's in the way that they're going to implement it. That's the new part. The question is when are they going to implement it?
The commitment, seemingly unending, of us as a community allows him to match this experience to his relentless ambition to make, as Xylo or Tyler told Lidus's Tech Longer segment,
Star Citizen is the most ambitious, immersive, uncompromising universe sim ever.
You know, when it comes to Sims, I'm going to tell you guys right now, the whole Death of a Spaceman thing, if that comes out the way they've written it down, you're going to see a massive dip in player numbers. I'm just saying that right now. You're going to see a massive dip.
And every word matters in that sentence, to the ambition that we're seeing Chris Roberts and CIG exhibit. The most ambitious, meaning not one thing more ambitious in part or in whole found anywhere in gaming. Immersive.
I don't know, like Grand Theft Auto 6's photorealism, then coupled with the fact that, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, like you're not gonna just be able to drive away from the cops like you have been in other Grand Theft Auto games. There's CCTVs, ATM cameras, people with cell phones that are going to be able to track you in this game. So, you know, that's going to be a pretty immersive and ambitious thing to pull off. Is it the most ambitious? Maybe not, but I don't know. I don't know. I agree but disagree with him on this. I think Grand Theft Auto is pretty immersive. I think Red Dead Redemption is pretty immersive. I think Ghost of Tsushima is very immersive. Batman is very immersive. So it depends on your level of immersion or what you think is immersive. I would buy Chris Roberts bathwater, but unfortunately he isn't a Twitch streamer.
We are fully immersed in this world.
And actually, I don't feel fully immersed in this world because there's no interactable lore. Most things are the exact same thing to other things like mining and salvage. It's the exact same thing. Well, no, not even mining and salvage. Yeah, mining and salvage is pretty much the exact same thing. Rock mining versus prospector mining or mole mining, exact same thing. Every single bunker is the exact same. Dogfights always break down into, unless you're fighting against somebody that knows what they're doing, dogfights always break down into who jousts harder and the fastest. You know, I don't find that immersive, but I don't know. Oh, you know, Chris Roberts, if he had bathwater to sell, he'd be charging, you know, premium dollar. We're talking like Javelin level money right there.
VR is matched up with the CIG experience.
Oh, please.
Compromising. That there will be no settling for less in each facet of the Star Citizen experience.
All right. Maybe we should together, like all of us together, I'll do a live stream and we'll do a Spectrum post about we'll all write it and do a Spectrum post on bathwater sales.
It's centered not on giving us a land, not on giving us a nation, not on giving us a planet, not on giving us a planetary system, but on giving us the vastness of a universe and then forging human connection across that expanse. Sim.
So you mean like Eve?
This ain't no arcade compromised experience.
It is an arcade game. This is, okay, if you want an actual flight sim, go play DCS. If you want an actual, you know, FPS sim, you need to play like Arma and Squad and those games. This is all very arcadey. It's all super arcadey. The only sim part of it is how long it takes you to do shit in this game, along with the planets and the stars when you're flying around. There is no everything is arcadey in this. Everything is very arcadey in this. I'm sorry. At least SC doesn't have a ship for $5 million for sale. That's very true.
Across the life of more than one.
Yeah, Star Atlas is ridiculous.
The most ambitious.
And NFT games, I'm sorry, they're always going to fail. They're always going to fail.
Immersive, uncompromising universe sim.
Get that ultra premium shitty butt edition.
Tyler went on to submit that, quote, "It is our attempt at a living universe that will ultimately become the metaverse for
so you mean like Eve?
Tens, if not hundreds of millions of people around the world. We want people to be able to escape into the verse."
I mean, here's the thing about Star Citizen, like I'm really hung up on this, is I really thought players were going to be able to affect the economy. And now that I've found out that we are going to have very little impact in the game's economy moving forward once it gets introduced, I'm pretty upset about that. And other games like Eve, like I brought up, the economy is completely controlled by the players. The AI has very little to do with it. And that's kind of what I was hoping for. Yeah, but that's when server meshing, I mean, this is a lot of, you know, when server meshing is available, when it works, and, you know, there's no servers to jump from, you know, we're all on the same server. It's, yeah.
And never have to come out, except for essentials, unquote. That attempt, that intent, that relentless, ambitious commitment.
I mean, it would be cool if this does turn out like the metaverse
and a
that
resource
doesn't
model
suck.
driven almost entirely by the community that will play across visioning, development, and feature build, let alone across the released game experience. That's quadruple A gaming.
Nah.
And we're here.
I'm still just triple A
for the
gaming.
modern gaming moonshot that seeks to deliver it all. After all, as Robert Browning submitted,
right, but I was hoping to be able to affect the economy more than we would be. Like, so, and you don't think the Star Citizen community is not going to be tied to real money economy? They're still going to sell ships. They're still going to sell concept with the release of this game. It's never going to stop. So the economy is going to be constantly tied to real money, which is why in the near future, all the ship prices are going to go up so it matches the real world price of that ship. That's just how it's going to be. And the economy is going to be tied to real money in Star Citizen as well. It'll still, like I said, it's still going to be like that. And like I said, so my idea was I was hoping to hit, like, once the economy became a thing, I was hoping to be able to, like, go to one of these distribution facilities or go to an area and do one of two things: blockade a space station off so that no quantum fuel or hydro fuel is getting there, or going to these distribution facilities and blowing up either food or let's just say gold, for example. And now in that current system, there is no more refined gold making it out. There's no more refined hydrogen or quantum going to a space station. And now players have to either take it upon themselves to get that quantum and get that hydro from point A to point B, being the station, and either get it past me and my blockade of that station to get ships to be able to refuel again, or the server is going to have to unite, or that portion of the server is going to have to unite and come after me and my group that is blockading that area. Or back to the gold thing, I blow up all the gold in an underground distribution facility, and now the gold prices have, in that system, have now skyrocketed because the supply is at rock bottom, but the demand is still up. And then I can have somebody like, I don't know, Pagan or Jim fly in with their Hull D or their Hull E or whatever it is, loaded to the max with gold, and then just sell it at maximum profit. And then we split it up. But we will not be able to affect the economy like that. They've already come out and said that we're going to be outnumbered 10-1. So no matter what we do to the economy, however we try to affect it, it's going to be a little tiny drop of water in an ocean when it comes to the economy. And that really kind of bums me out.
But a man's reach should exceed his grasp, or what's a heaven for? If you've gotten this far, you've made it to the end.
Alrighty,
and you
we're at the end.
Care.
I liked it. I disagree with him on a lot of different things, but hey, you know, if he feels that way, he feels that way. That's cool. We're all allowed different opinions and different feelings about Star Citizen, and that's cool. Like I said, he brought up some really good talking points. Like I said, I disagree with him on a lot of it, but he did bring up a lot of good talking points. Give you a like there as well, buddy. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. JT, thanks for joining, man. Good luck in the meeting. So yeah, that was fun. That was really cool. Like I said, I'm glad he has the opinion that he has. I just disagree with him on a lot of the opinions. So, you know, what time is it? What time is it? Man, I gotta get going. That sucks. That sucks hardcore. I want to do another video, but I don't know, with how I get to rambling, I don't know if that's going to be a possibility. That one is 20 minutes long. We kind of already did one. That one's 17. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get to it. I'm not going to be able to get to it. So I'm going to have to wrap it up here as well, guys. I got to get some lunch and then get the kids from the school bus and all of that fun stuff. So I'm going to end it here. Like I said earlier, we're going to have Dodgebox coming up Saturday. I unfortunately have to end it, Roy. I'm super sorry. I got to go eat and get my kids off the bus. So here's what we're going to do. We got Dodgebox coming up this weekend, Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What else is going on? Memberships. If you become a member, you're going to get entered into a ship giveaway. All the proceeds that I make from memberships, whether they're, you know, gifted subs or somebody becoming, or not gifted subs, gifted memberships or somebody becoming a member or whatever it is, all of that money. No, I don't think no, sorry, Rhino. No Daymar rally for me, man. All that membership money, I give it back to you guys. We already did one ship giveaway and we had it set up so that there were two winners. We got $67 and like 14 cents or 13 cents. It was somewhere around there the last time I looked, already to buy a ship. Become a member now until the end of February, and you'll be entered into the end of March giveaway. What else is going on? I think really that's it. Oh, make sure you hit the like button, the sub button. We're on our way to 1,000 subs on YouTube and 100 followers on Twitch. So if you haven't joined on Twitch, hit that follow button on Twitch. And with that, guys, so long. Thanks for the fish, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.